The power of the dark side.
Hey everyone, I'm Doc.
I'm Marco.
Welcome to Syndicate Games. So, as me and Marco are about to call it a day for videos, we got a little drop in our forum posts, and here it is. We're getting reworks coming out for Dooku and Nute Gunray, which we knew were coming, but now we get to look at them. So, Marco, why don't you read this for us, and we'll start going into their kits.
Yeah, Galaxy vs. Clone Wars campaign continues with updated kits for Count Dooku and Nute Gunray. We already know that would happen. They will provide two different leaderships abilities for your Separatist teams. Actually good if I look at Dooku now.
Yep.
Count Dooku's tune-up will see him continue to be the countering powerhouse that he always has been, but now is a better choice of a leader for the Separatists, no longer relying on the General Grievous and the Separatist droids.
Yep.
Nute Gunray's character identity is getting some big changes. Nute Gunray extorts his opposition to fulfill his agenda by forcing his opponents to choose between two bad opponents. Will you give into Nute's extortion for now or pay the price later?
Mm-hmm. So this is really cool. A lot of people were hoping that this rework would come out for the Padme event. Obviously, it came out afterwards. And the really cool thing about this is we're getting two new options we can run for next time Padme comes around.
Both of the leaderships became pretty good.
Yes, just from what me and Marco saw, it looks like Nute Gunray is going to be the better option at Padme event. But let's go into the kits and take a look with you guys.
I wasted my Zeta on General Grievous.
Oh man, well I don't think it's a waste. I really don't. It's still good.
Yeah, for droid teams he can still be good.
Yeah. So Dooku first, he didn't really get a how he looks rework, but here for the final text for his basic ability, and we'll get the little
Galactic Republic extra chances out for his for special.
Mm-hmm. Cool thing is it doubled if the target is Galactic Republic, so they're gonna do extra damage. 100% chance to attack again if they're Galactic Republic. And these chants have 50% chance to inflict stun or ability block, which that was already.
The other thing I noticed is the pictogram for the pictogram for that deck.
Yeah, that's changed, right?
Yeah, that almost changed. It changed that almost every time with a rework.
So here's this Force Lightning, shock the target, deal special damage, stun for a turn, has a 50% chance to shock and stun another random enemy. Again doubled for Galactic Republic.
Galactic Republic.
100% versus Galactic Republic, this can happen. And then here's really cool, his leadership complete rework. This isn't rework, this is special number 2, I apologize.
I really love the animation.
Yeah, the animation looks so cool. And you actually pointed out this is exactly what the animation was when he was facing Grandmaster Yoda on Geonosis.
Yeah.
So Master of the Makashi, cooldown of 3. Final text, Count Dooku dispels all debuffs from himself and gains Riposte for 2 turns. All non-take Separatist allies gain 50% turn meter and stealth for 2 turns. Attacks out of turn ignore protection and cannot be copied. So, wow. That's really good.
It prevents opponents from attacking with the stealth.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll just hit again and again and again, which is really, really cool. And could you imagine Grievous with as much as he hits for in stealth and you can't hit him back?
Yeah, like the counters are annoying against Grievous.
So that'll be interesting.
Health, but
here for his leadership ability, final text, Separatist allies gain 35% counter chance and gain 50% tenacity for the first time they are stunned or dazed. Whenever an enemy falls below 100% health, they inflict tenacity down and healing immunity for 2 turns on themselves, which cannot be evaded or resisted. And all Separatist allies gain 10% off at stacking, max of 50%. So what do you think about this with the extra, with the debuffs that they place on themselves? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that can be work in a good way and a bad way. Like, I don't actually see whenever.
Well, I think it's really cool because, you're doing damage to them, but if sometime in that turn they fall below 100% health, obviously the protection's gone, more debuffs come on them. So maybe this is a team where you could be using Vader even in this as well, with kind of an off-brand
Yeah, but am I reading this correctly? Whenever an enemy falls below 100% health, they inflict the debuffs on themselves. What's the use of that?
Well, if they inflict the debuffs on themselves, especially tenacity down and healing immunity, it means they're going to be able to accept more debuffs at that point. That's a good thing, because you're affecting this on the enemy.
True, and yeah, you have Master of Makashi. That one dispels all buffs, all debuffs.
All right, so final unique flawless riposte. Final text, this is the Zeta he gets. And basically it's stated how it was, but this time he's going to gain turn meter and gain protection with this unique every time he attacked outside of his turn. So he ends up being a bit faster than before, so you don't have to put as much speed on him. So that'd be very, very interesting.
To save your speed mods for someone else.
Exactly. And then, of course, it says he synergizes with all of the Separatists.
Yeah. Like,
I guess you could say he's more
Which one does he with Asajj and I don't know any other?
Yeah, it looks like Asajj is the only one that's not on there. And Poggle.
Yeah, Asajj, Poggle, and Geonosians.
Yeah. But it looks, I wouldn't necessarily, he's a good a Separatist synergizer, but he's definitely an anti-Galactic Republic. I think you can agree with me on that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and look at Nute Gunray. So this guy will be really interesting. This guy was a very, very kind of mischievous, very evil character, always trying to support himself, of course. So Separatist support who specializes in sabotaging enemy strategies. His first ability, the basic, deal physical damage to target enemy. That's kind of all of them. If the target had extortion, reduce the cooldown of motivate by 1. So already we're seeing there's a new mechanic being added to the game. We're going to go over extortion in just a second. Special number 1, dubious dealings. Cooldown of number 2. Grant the extortion ability to target enemy. If they already had extortion, grant it to the weakest enemy that does not have it. Then inflict speed down on all enemies for 2 turns, and deal 20% max health damage to enemies with extortion, which can't be evaded. Enemies who use extortion grant profit to allied Separatists. Extortion, when you remove extortion, recover 10% health and grant Separatist allies profit. For profit, the other mechanic, plus 10% critical chance, critical damage per stack, max of 50% until the end of battle.
Really?
Holy crap. What is your first thoughts on this new ability he gets?
Yeah, I see. Like, if you use him in a Vader squad, which is not logic, but if you dispel it, he can get the critical chance. You can get recover 10% health really fast and such. If you can get someone to dispel the buffs or the debuffs, you can recover health real fast.
Well, think even just for the Padme event when you have Kenobi dispelling the buffs and giving him retribution, he's giving all your characters critical chance and critical damage.
That's probably also a reason they are trying to make it a bit of a Galactic Republic Jedi counter.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here, which is very cool. New abilities come into the game, not abilities, but new mechanics come into the game are always really, really fun. So here's what his dubious dealings animation looks like.
Also, I noticed something else on the beginning of on the top of this page. Mm-hmm. He had a leader tag. If you go a bit down to the here, he had a leader tag.
Yeah. For motivate, right? That is.
Yeah, but I don't get the leader tag. Isn't in game, right?
I don't think so. Maybe
it will come now.
Maybe. So just special ability number 2 is motivate, and remember this can get the cooldown for this can be reduced by just with his basic, right? So every time he uses basic, if that opponent had extortion, it's going to reduce the ability of motivate. So the more times you apply extortion to someone, the faster you're going to be able to use this ability. Dispel all buffs on target enemy. And increase their cooldowns by 1, which can't be evaded.
That's for the Padme event.
Yep. If the target had extortion, call all Separatist allies to assist. So a big mass attack here. and dispelling all their buffs.
The cooldown increasing is really useful in the Padmes event against General Kenobi with his lancing.
And their that Jolie Fishto with him reviving the allies. So that would be very cool. And just kind of like this animation looks, Kenobi's gonna be getting out of here. We don't need Kenobi anymore. All right, why don't you read these last ones for us, Marco?
Yeah, here is leader. Separatist allies have 50% speed and potency for each enemy with extortion. While Nute Gunray is alive, each enemy that ends their turn with extortion dispels their own buffs and grants extortion to another random enemy that doesn't have it.
So that's really cool. It's almost kind of like bouncing around plague between characters, but this is extortion instead. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's like, just dispelling your own buffs and dispelling buffs and giving buffs like General Kenobi's unique.
Yeah. Go ahead, read our last unique, Viceroy's Reach.
Yeah, final text. Whenever a Separatist ally inflicts a debuff, they also deal 5% max health damage to the enemy, which can be evaded, and enemies with extortion have 30%, min 30% speed and offense. The first time Nute Gunray is defeated, he is revived with 100% health and turn meter. Every time Nute Gunray is revived, he stealth for 2 turns.
So, Marco, what do you think about him reviving, stealthing when he comes back, and what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, Nute Gunray himself, he's not the best character out of all of them, but I think the stealth will be useful, that he can get attacked for a while, that he is protected for a bit.
Well, I think prior to this rework, he was definitely garbage, but with this rework, like, man, I'm more excited about his kit changes than I kind of was with Grievous, actually. So I really want to test this guy out.
Advanced droid assist calling.
Yeah, and could you imagine if he's calling all the Separatists to attack with him? Dooku's doing crazy damage. B1's doing crazy damage. Droidica's going nuts. And then
the only thing here is
out of turn is getting extra damage and increasing his stuff. So really cool stuff there.
And again, you see here that it are all the Separatists here except for Asajj and the Bugs.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna maybe in the future bring out more bugs?
I don't think so. I mean, Sun Fek wasn't even in lore, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
Some they did a few self-made, like some Ewoks weren't even in the movie and such.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, guys. Well, there's the kit reveals for Dooku and Nute Gunray. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Are you excited as we are about this? Do you think they're going to have more reworks for Clone Wars era Separatists coming down the road? Do you think they're just going to go straight to the clones after this? Let us know what you think down below. All right? Till next time, I'm Doc.
I'm Marco.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
let the Wookiee win.
I believe I'm self-made, yeah.